If we hit over 1,000 likes, I'm gonna do a Peach Momoko variant. I said it. Hold me to it.
I am back in the saddle again, and we are hitting the ground running. Watch to the end of the video to get a chance to win this Spawn 301 signed in green by J. Scott Campbell.
We back.
Oh my God, it is so good to be back here, Tom.
Dude, it feels so good.
It's weird. It's really, really weird. This is still 6 feet.
Yeah.
But
we're doing good, Comic Fam. Yeah. Caught us on a Saturday. We do this video every week, and we've been doing it for like 2 years now, Russ.
We have, yes.
And what do? We hit the table and we chat about the hottest comic books of the week. How do we source these books, Russ?
Well, these books actually come from Key Collector, and they have a fantastic app that you should be using. Use code TOM101 for a free week. But what this app does is it takes all of the information from eBay and other sales all over and lets us know what the hottest comics of the week are. This is a great way to get information to books that are spiking and moving and shaking.
Not books to buy. Nope. All of these books are not recommendations.
Right, these books are already hot.
Yeah, we want you to know what's going on so that you can make your buying decisions and help ideally better your comic book collecting. Before we get to number 10, I want to give a big thank you to the comic book community. Russ, we did our first fundraiser on the show, and we raised over $3,000 in as little as 48 hours.
Awesome.
The power of comic books. Let's jump into it at number 10.
Number 10 this week. If you follow Tom on Instagram, you would already know his thoughts on this book. We have Peter Parker Spider-Man number 49. This book coming in at number 10, but has the highest increase of any book this week at 2,400%. This is insane. Why? Because there's a character named Virus. Well, Donny Cates and Ryan Stegman have a character named Virus that's supposed to be coming out. But Donnie and Ryan are very, very clear about the fact that this is a new character. The Virus in Peter Parker Spider-Man 49 does not look like, has nothing to do with Virus at all whatsoever. This feels a little bit like the Punchline buzz where people were trying to find when did she show up 20 years ago? Nope, she's a new character. Same thing with this. This is a new character. So we're seeing the average raw going for $20. We're seeing a high CGC sale going for $40. And this book is essentially dollar bin fodder. If you want to buy it, if you think something may happen with it, that's fine. That's your prerogative. But honestly, Tom talked to Donny Cates about this, and it's a new character. It has nothing to do with this old book.
This is an example of a book that would go under the hot keys section on Key Collector Comics because it's hot. Right. It is the highest selling comic this week, but it's the lowest on our list. And this information is right there with the book information because this is for you to consider before making the purchase. Not all of these are suggestions to buy. No, this is for you to utilize and then assess for yourself. Let's take a look at number 9 on our list today because we have Superman issue 14, the recalled edition. We haven't chatted about this in a while.
We have not.
And it features the first cameo appearance of the Gold Green Lantern. And we're going to get to that here in a second. But we mentioned this book earlier this year because there was rumors of why it was recalled. Was it because the title was wrong on the cover? Was it because the interiors, there was some type of mistake? We don't know, but we know that it was lower print. And the introduction of this character just became very important this week.
Well, this book was kind of interesting because, again, DC came out, they gave a little bit of weird information, but then what they said is if you sent back your destroyed copies of Superman 14 and the Supergirl book that came out as well, you were able to get more copies of that really awesome Joker Brian Boland cover. So a lot of people got those if they damaged their comics and returned them, but the ones that didn't only got one.
Yeah. Kind of strange to add more to the speculation of why they're going out of their way to incent these to be destroyed.
Right.
But it pushed this comic earlier this year, and now this week we're seeing, for other reasons, this book going up. $15 average sales, a high at $60, and we're seeing an increase in copies sold of 800%. Comic fam, make sure to slap that like button. We need your support now more than ever. And let's take a look at number 8, because I have a feeling that it was positioned here for a reason.
Absolutely. This is going to feed even more into this 180, 181 type of controversy. So we have seen the Gold Lantern character in multiple books before this one, but this week, finally, Legion of Superheroes number 6 is the first full appearance of Gold Lantern. Shout out to my homie Adam Wiener, who I know got both covers of that. He is the biggest Legion fan I know. Absolutely fantastic. $15 right out of the gate. We were seeing the variant B cover going from $25 to $30. Solid book, and again, a character that people have been looking forward to for at least 6 months.
Feels so good to have comics back. Stores are reopening. And number 7, we got some Silver Age making the list.
Oh, yeah.
Thor, annual number 1. Classic book. I'm going to pause here. Don't care about the spec. Don't care about anything. This is a dope book.
Right.
It's thick. It's hard to get in high grade. And it's a classic. Thor versus Hercules. 2 strong gods. Come on. But I think there may be some speculation running amok here because this book is seeing some big gains. We're seeing right now an average sale of $650. A high sale for this book has hit $1,800, and there was a 900% increase in copies sold in 7 days. An expensive book like that, seeing those types of gains and that type of constant sales in such a short amount of time, there's got to be some spec happening.
So Hercules has been a super popular character for a very long time. I mean, we've got Hercules Goes Bananas with Arnold Schwarzenegger. We've got the Disney Hercules in the 90s. We have the USA Kevin Sorbo, Sam Raimi Hercules. Marvel even did so much as to revamp the Hercules character in Avengers No Road Home number 10. So he is a popular character, but over the last month or so, we've been hearing a lot of rumors. There was a cast list posted that's now been debunked that's not of the live action, but we're still talking about how Disney Plus is potentially making a live action remake with the Russo brothers. So there's a lot of Hercules stuff. Are they going to be doing something with Thor, introducing him into the MCU, or making it kind of a standalone thing on Disney Plus? We're not quite sure.
Is this Hercules the one from the animated series, a completely different one? Or is this Hercules just going to be tied into this universe so he could be utilized? Because if he was, it would make sense to put him up against the God of Thunder, making this book on our list.
Number 6 on the list, Station Creation, Bill and Ted's 3 is coming out. I don't know if you guys saw the trailer. I'm so excited. Oh my God. So when my brother and I went to Russia in 1991, we had one cassette tape with us, and it was the Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey cassette tape. I have so many great memories with Bill and Ted. So seeing Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure number 1 on the list, oh my God, so excited. This book is crazy. $20 raw for this book, $35 for a graded copy. But come on. I mean, if you watch, Alex Winter and Keanu Reeves just being their bumbling idiots in this trailer, you gotta get excited.
Saw it. I'm pumped. It's in the future. They haven't written the song to save humanity yet. They're getting stressed out about it. I'm getting a Back to the Future vibe with this as well. Makes me miss George Carlin. Diehard George Carlin fan, man. It makes me want to see a movie made about his life or something like that. But this is an interesting comic book because, it's the official adaptation of the movie, but you could have only gotten it by doing this mail away to, what was it, Cheerios?
Yeah, Cheerios. And
General Mills?
Yes. So DC Comics was the one that made this, but then remember that 2 years later, there was a Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure comic that Marvel did.
800% increase in copies sold after people saw this trailer. I'm stoked. This is actually kind of a special book too, because it would be the first adaptation of Bill and Ted's Adventure. But you could have only gotten this comic book if you did this like mail away to General Mills. You had to be eating your honey oats, which is actually the only ad in this comic, and it's on the back. Why do you need to know that? Because that's why you hit the subscribe button. We got this kind of information, all right? And let's chat about number 5 on the list because we're about to find out how Batman learned his fighting skills.
Okay, so we finally have confirmation of something that is really going to happen with Richard Dragon Kung Fu Fighter.
Wait, what? Say that again?
We have been talking about Richard Dragon Kung Fu Fighter number 1 forever because it was the first appearance of Richard Dragon Kung Fu Fighter and the Bronze Tiger and Lady Shiva. We have been talking about this for almost the entire 2 years we've been doing these top 10 lists, and it always seems like a weird spec because nothing was happening, but they were cool characters. So we finally have confirmation that Bruce Timm,
creator of Batman animated series, co-creator.
Yep, the co-creator of the Batman animated series is working on an animated Batman movie that should be released in spring of 2021 that talks about Batman getting his martial arts story. So we're going to see Lady Shiva, we're going to see Bronze Tiger, we're going to see Richard Dragon, the 4 of them all training together under the same sensei. Their sensei mysteriously disappears and they have to go find him. This is awesome. I'm already excited. And it's one of those things that they always gloss over. You're like, hey, Batman went to Nanda Parbat for like a week and he's really, really good. No, give me some more training. I want to know why he's so good at this stuff. He must be 90.
Batman, Son of the Dragon. It's going to be an Elseworlds tale, and there's nobody better to lead the direction of this adaptation.
Absolutely. Keep it in the Batman Adventures universe.
Number 4 on the list, we have James Tynion the Fourth, causing a ruckus in the comic book community. So we're putting Batman Legends of the Dark Knight, issue number 120, right here on the list. It's the first appearance of Cassandra Cain. We're seeing $20 average sales, a high at $170, but we're seeing a 1,600% increase in copies sold, not because of movie buzz.
Nope.
No, because of Batman buzz. Because we saw a solicit for the variant, the Derek Chu variant of issue number 96. And who do we see on the cover? Well, we see Clown Hunter. We know he's coming. Right. This is going to be a hot new character. He's been talking about it on Twitter a lot, hyping it all up. But we see 2 other characters that we weren't expecting to see.
We have Spoiler and Cassandra Cain as Batwoman.
Is Cassandra Cain going to wear the cowl again? Is she coming back? Well, somebody tweeted at James and he responded with Homer Simpson. I'm thinking we're getting Cassandra Cain back.
Yeah, that would make sense. Now, we haven't necessarily been getting straight information from him for a while. We know that there was a bit of confusion with Punchline's first appearance and then Punchline's cameo appearance, and we had Batman 89, and then Hell Arisen number 3, and then 92 was supposed to be her first appearance, but then Hell Arisen number 3 was actually her first appearance, and then 94 was the first cover appearance. So it's a weird kerfuffle going on. I'm very, very glad that they finally released Batman 92 this week so people can kind of like get this Punchline steam out of it. If you didn't pick up the Joker 80th anniversary, there's a 6 issue. They're calling it an origin of Punchline, but really it's just showing her loyalty to Joker. It is worth reading and definitely worth picking up though.
Yeah, this type of confusion in the market happened because James Tynion was expressing his excitement for these first appearances of these new characters, and he wanted to tell the community. However, DC solicit said other things, and that's why these terms cameo and first appearance really matter. Well, we are anxiously awaiting for Clown Hunter to make his debut, and James wanted to get ahead of it, so he was mentioning that 96 is going to be his first appearance. But wait, what is DC saying now? Because they're soliciting a different book as the first debut, that's a new word to throw out there, of this character.
So now we're talking about Joker Warzone number 1. And there's this whole lead up to the Joker, and all of these Joker books are being tied in with the Batman books right now. So apparently this is going to be the big one to watch for. I don't know if I'm convinced yet.
Yeah, you know that the writers don't necessarily care about these technical terms. They don't have the 180, 181 benchmark that we discuss on this show. So we're going to have to wait and see what they print, but we may have a similar type of Punchline situation on our hands.
Absolutely.
Number 3 on the list.
Number 3 on the list, more fantastic Batman goodness. This has been another one that's been on everyone's radar for a very, very long time, but record breaker, Batman Beyond, number 1, 200 raw, $900 for a 9.8.
Prior to this week, this book at a high went for just above $700. This book is making number 3 on our list because there was actually 2 $900 sales this week, but that's not all. We actually have a total, including this book, of 4 record breakers that were mind-blowing this week. And we have a couple of them to chat with you about right now because we also have the first appearance of Spider-Gwen breaking records.
First Spider-Gwen, Edge of Spider-Verse number 2, selling 9.8, $875 this week.
Third record breaker is a book that we've chatted about multiple times, Adam, Legend of the Blue Marvel, issue number 1, the first appearance of this character, low print, breaking records.
$550 on that one at a 9.8.
Dude,
crazy.
We know that run was very low print, just over, was it 17,000?
For a Marvel number 1, that is a ridiculously low number.
Yeah, we know the rest of that series in particular is being spec'd on just because of how many were made. Not even like character appearances. People are spec'ing on it because of the low print count.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, and we have another record breaker, but we're going to save it till number 1, so stay tuned. We have number 2 on the list, Snowblind, issue number 1. You're going to remember that there was some announcements back in April. Key Collector was letting everybody know that Boom Studios was bringing a bunch of potential titles to Netflix, but we didn't know which ones. So speculation started. We started hearing rumors. Remember, Memetic was being brought up. There was a lot more than that. But we also know now that the bidding war is about to be settled on this title, and Jake Gyllenhaal is involved.
Well, if Jake Gyllenhaal's involved, I love me some Donnie Darko, but Snowblind sounds like a super cool concept. I mean, you've got this kid who posts a picture of his family to the internet and finds out that they're in the witness protection program. I mean, that's already one of those elevator pitches that I'm like, all right, I would totally watch at least the first 3 episodes of this to see where this is going. And Jake Gyllenhaal being tied is even better, but the fact that they're going to be stopping the bidding war soon means that right now it is even closer to getting production.
$30 average sales, a high at $44, a 1,700% increase in copies sold. And I just want to remind everybody about the optioned indie titles category on Key Collector Comics, because these titles, they tend to move all over the place, but when they land hard. And a lot of these books end up in dollar bins. They are prime for speculating and getting at a low entry rate.
Oh, absolutely. This is the type of thing that I will have bought 3 or 4 copies of, and if no one buys it off the wall, it's just going to eventually migrate it to the lower part of my shop. And I'm not going to go through those and go, oh, did I get 3 copies of Snowblind? I just kind of ignore it,
Now, we know just because a comic book is optioned doesn't mean it's always going to go into production, which is why it's really good that this category, it refreshes. If there hasn't been news in 2 years, it's removed, and then it's revised with anything new that's coming on the market. So you got to be constantly checking.
Well, and another great thing about the option indies section on the Key Collector app is that most of these books, you have to understand they're in their valley. A lot of times a book gets hot, it is out, and then it kind of comes down. So if you've got a book that came out at $50 that people were exciting, and then it's selling for 8 to 10 before they start production again, this is a good opportunity to pick up these things at the low point. Not a lot of times you're going to get that opportunity with hot books.
Number 1 on our top 10 list today. Don't forget to slap that like button, hit the subscribe button. We make this video every single week. We have, I actually foreshadowed this earlier, Russ. We have a record breaker, the number 1 record breaker that we gotta put on this list today. You know that there is video game buzz. You know that Miles Morales, everything has been on the minds of collectors across the board for months now, and it's growing. And now we have his first full appearance in Ultimate Fallout, issue number 4, making the list. But we have a very special version of it, Russ. We have the newsstand edition. And how can they know that it's the newsstand edition?
In the UPC on the newsstand, it says Black Panther.
Yeah, and actually says newsstand too. That's actually the more important thing. But it does say Black Panther on there.
I think it's great. A lot of times when you go through and see some of these newsstands from Marvel, they just have the wrong title. A lot of the Spider-Man have something different. It'll say Avengers instead of Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's not like it's an error, but they just put it on there. But it is like, hey.
It's interesting.
It's not just the barcode. It says newsstand on there, but it also says Black Panther. So like there's a couple things to look out for. Keep an eye out for that UPC in the bottom right. It does say newsstand in there, and that is the main indicator that you have a lower print version of the first full appearance of Miles Morales. I mentioned it earlier, kind of foreshadowed it. We have a 4th record breaker this week, the biggest record breaker. We are here to report $1,000 raw for the scarcest version of the cover A, the first appearance of Miles Morales.
That is so crazy. But again, the hype behind this character for so long, and again, it's just going to keep going higher. Look out for those newsstands. They are out there.
We also have a video game announcement from IGN debuting yesterday. They're going to be continuing the Spider-Verse video game, expanding it with Miles Morales as the lead.
So cool.
Dude, he's becoming people's favorite version of Spider-Man, and I can't blame him.
Right.
Comic fam, we appreciate you. We appreciate your time. Give Russ a good welcome back. Hit the like button. Let him know that you're excited to see him back on the mic.
I'm so glad to be here. Oh my God.
All right. And of course, as always,
geek responsibly.
Enough?
said, make sure you like and subscribe. Comment down below with the last comic you bought for a chance to win this Spawn 301 signed by J. Scott Campbell.
Chandler Hamilton, congratulations. We also have Rakuza and Adam Anthony, winners of last week's top 10. Each of you will be getting a copy of Metal Shark Bro. We out, comic fam. Thanks for joining us.